Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another Tuesday in our 2020 year of COVID and everything else crazy. This is going to be game number 132 in the season replay, Chicago White Sox. And they finish up their homestand against the Baltimore Orioles. Game 3 of the series, it'll be Jim Palmer, 21-8, 2.53 ERA against Steve Stone, 9-12, 3.91 ERA. And the Sox will be glad to see the Orioles leave. The Orioles won the first two games of the three-game set, winning the first game of the series 7-3, as they knocked around Steve Rinko pretty good. And they won the previous game by the score of 11-5, and they knocked around Francisco Barrios pretty good as well. All right, so this is game 132. So we'll bring the score sheet into play, dice tray into play. I do have the defensive ratings for both teams. We got Baltimore here, we got Chicago here, so there'll be easy access to figure that out. And let me get something else up here. Okay. All right, let's put that on. Don't want to have echoes here. All right, so here we go. Steve Stone will be facing Jim Palmer. And there's another twist in this. I went back and watched one of the first couple games of the season replay, and I actually started out this project in Super Advanced. And then somewhere along the line I switched to Advanced, so I am going back to Super Advanced for the final 31 games of this season. I've noticed on someone like Lamar Johnson, he lost a lot of home runs, or potentially some home runs, because he has a lot of ballpark checks on his card, and so I didn't think it was pretty fair to him to do that. So keeping in that, and I'm also doing Super Advanced on my other Strat-o-matic thing that I'm doing, so I figured it's easier just to keep it Strat-o-matic Super Advanced and let it go at that. So that's the reason why I'm doing that. All right, so I think we're just about ready to get going here. Steve Stone. We'll go through the lineups pretty quickly. For the Orioles, it'll be Al Bumbry in center, Rich Dower at second, Ken Singleton in right, Lee Mays the DH, Eddie Murray's at first, Pat Kelly's in left, DeSensei's at third, Belanger's at short, and Skaggs the catcher for Jim Palmer. And for the Sox, it'll be Ralph Garr in left, Alan Bannister at short, Chet Lemon in center, Richie Zisk is DHing today, Oscar Gamble's in right, Eric Soderholm's at third, Jim Spencer's at first, Kessinger is at second, and Essien behind the plate. One good news for the Sox is that after this game, they have 30 remaining. And out of those 30, 25 out of those 30, they will be playing exclusively three teams, California, Oakland, and Seattle. So bottom three teams in the division, you would think they could, make up some ground, because they definitely are getting hurt by playing the Orioles and Yankees. They didn't really like playing those, so by playing some of these lesser teams, maybe they can get their record back to where it needs to be. They do have, I believe, 5 games against Minnesota, who they're fighting for third place right now, but otherwise it is strictly California, Oakland, and Seattle. So there'll be a lot of those games coming up in the replay. All right, so now I'm going to have to remember that we're doing Super Advanced and make sure I do all the Super Advanced plays that are supposed to happen. All right, Steve Stone on the mound facing Al Bumbry, and Bumbry has been killing him in the series. He's just getting on base all the time. So let's see what they can do to keep them off the bases. I am bringing out the orange Oriole dice for the occasion, so just to have something different than the red dice all the time. All right, so we are set to go in game 132. Again, the Orioles are 77-55, and in the first place tie with the Red Sox in the AL East. Chicago 69-62. They're in third place behind Texas and Kansas City. All right, Al Bumbry steps up. We are ready to go in game 132. We get a 3-7. 3-7 for Bumbry. Ground ball back to the pitcher, Stone, one away. So that's a good start to get him off the bases. Here's Rich Dower. And Dower, a 3-9 for Dower. Ground ball to short. That's going to be handled by Bannister. So a good start for Stoney. Two quick ground balls. Keep those guys off the bases before the big guys come up, because Ken Singleton has been killing them in this series so far. Singleton, a 4-6. He's a switch hitter batting left, 4-6. He's going to pop it up to second and catch there. And it's a 1-2-3 inning here in the bottom of the first. And the Orioles go quietly. Of course, there's 8 innings left, so anything can happen. But a good start for Stone. Now Palmer steps to the box. And hello, RJL. How for the Sox, it'll be Ralph Guard leading it off. He'll be followed by Bannister and Lemon against Jim Palmer, who has been incredible. 21-8 in the replay, 2.53 ERA. I believe he's got like 23 complete games already, so it's the computers really like playing him, getting him to complete games. All right, Ralphie boy, see what he can do with the Sox. It's a 6-5 against Palmer, and that is a good start right there. 6-5 is a 1-2 triple, 3-20 is a single. And where's my D20? Now I lost my D20. Oh, here it is over here. I put it somewhere else. Didn't know about it. It's a 7. So a 7 is going to end up just being a single, but they'll take it. I mean, get the leadoff guy on. That's important. He is a C stealer. See if he can get a jump. He's going to try to get a jump because remember now I'm switching over to super advanced. So we're not just going by the lettering. We're going by the numbers that are over here. So to get a jump, he has to have a 2 through 6 or a 12 on the 2D6s. But if the D20 is a 1, he's subject to pickoff. And it's an 8, so he's not going to get the jump, so he won't be going anywhere. He will be held, though. All right, we'll check Palmer, make sure there's no wild pitches or anything. There's not. All right, here's Bannister. 6-6 on Palmer. 1-4 is a double. Anything else, he will fly to center. And it's settled. Almost was a 3, but it settles on a 9, so Bumry up to the task, 1 away. That will bring up Chet Lemon. 3, nothing's on the D20, so here's Lemon. 4-7 on Palmer, that's a strikeout. Palmer with the whiff, 2 down. And now, that will bring up Richie Zisk. Pitch to Zisk at your own risk. That's a 2, a chance for either a balk or a pass ball. Palmer has a 0 balk rating. The pass ball rating on the catcher Dave Skaggs is a 2. So the white die will determine it. If it's a 4, 5, 6, we check for a pass ball. 1, 2, 3, you check for a wild pitch. 3, it's a wild pitch chance, but it's a balk chance, but Palmer has no balk rating, so I'm not going to worry about that. So we go straight on now to Richie Zisk. 3-7. 3-7 is a ground ball to second base C. It's the 3rd out of the inning, so it really doesn't matter, but the runner would have advanced, but there you go. All right, so 1 inning in the books here at this super advanced finish to the replay, and we got no score. Stoney back out. We'll be facing DH Lee May. Lee May. Mike, yes, I did. I went back and watched some of my earlier videos to start this project, and they were in super advanced. And I'm trying to figure out why I left super advanced. I don't know why I did, but in noticing what brought this on quite a bit was I noticed Lamar Johnson did not have he was way behind on his home run totals. And if you look at his card, he has 4 diamond shots here and 3 over here. So I think he was losing some home runs from the fact that I was not doing super advanced. So since I'm doing another project in Strat Super Advanced offline, I figured I might as well stay super advanced and keep it consistent so I don't get my rules screwed up. All right, so that's the explanation for that, and I'm sticking to it. Here's Lee May, top of the 2nd against Stoney. We get a 6-7 against Stoney. That's his weak point. That 6-7 is really a bad spot for him. 1-2 is a double. Anything else is a single. It'll be a base hit for Lee May. Leadoff single. He's an E-stealer. He will not be held. We'll make sure there's nothing weird on the wild pitches or whatever. Here's Eddie Murray. 4-3. Eddie Murray, the fly ball right field X. That's Oscar Gamble, and that can be trouble because Oscar is not a good fielder. Oscar Gamble checks in as a 4-E4. 4-E4. 4 and a 13. He might get to that. That's going to be questionable. 4 and a 13. He does get to it. It's an F1, surprisingly. He's an E4, so he should be able to avoid the error, you would think. That's an 11 on an E4, and he does. So he does make the play. Oscar Gamble, it's a tough chance, but he was up to the task and retires Eddie Murray. Here's Pat Kelly, and he's taking the place of Andre Moore. It's a good thing because Andre Moore has been killing him in the first 2 games of the series. But Earl Weaver decided to go with Pat Kelly today. So there's a 1. Chance for a wild pitch on Stone. He's a 10. And it's a 9, so Stoney uncorks the wild pitch. So Steve Stone with a wild pitch puts the runner now at second base. Nothing there. Let's see here. Did runner advance on the F1? Did I miss that? I'm just so used to them not advancing. Let's see here. All run, you were correct. That tells you how long it's been since I played Super Advanced. So that means the wild pitch actually gets the runner to third. Thank you for that, Mike. That means the runner actually gets to third because on the fly ball he goes to second. I'm sorry, on the wild pitch he went to second. On the fly ball he goes to third. So now he's at third with 1 out, which means that the the White Sox have to debate on whether the infield is going to be in or not, depending on how they think the runs are going to come against Jim Palmer. And runs against Palmer are probably not going to be very abundant, so they're going to play the infield in. They're going to take a chance, play the infield in. Let me re-roll the 20. I don't know if I did that or not. Okay, nothing's happening there, but the infield is the end to Pat Kelly. 1-5, 1-5, 1-12 is a single. 13-20, he lines to Kessinger at second. And that's a 20, so Kessinger snags it. And that prevents the run, at least temporarily. 2 down, here's the Sensei. Now the infield can go back to normal. And that's another 1, so it's a chance for a wild pitch on Steve Stone. He's got a 10 rating on a wild pitch. He's already had 1 wild pitch. Can he do it again? He does, so he just wild pitched a run in. 2 wild pitches has allowed a run in, and that's put the Orioles up 1-0. I don't think I've ever had 2 wild pitches in 1 at bat, but that's what happens in this crazy D20. So the Sensei with the bases empty now, 6-10 against Kelly the lefty. Catcher X, that is Essien, and Essien checks in as a 2E4. 2 and a 5, and then an E4 and a 4. That 4 could be a little troublesome. Let's see. E2 and a 5 is going to be a it's a P/P, and the E4 and a 4 for a catcher. Nope, no error there, so it's just going to be a pop-up, and that's going to end the inning. But the Orioles pick up a run thanks to a couple wild pitches, and we go to the bottom of the second with the score 1-0 O's. Looking for the sweep behind Jim Palmer and his 21-8 record in the replay. Here's Oscar Gamble, right fielder, lead things off. Try to get something going for the Hitmen. 5-4, and that's a catcher X on the Orioles side. That's Skaggs. He's catching for Dempsey today. Skaggs checks in as a 3E3. 3 and a 15 on a catcher chart is a pop-out. Let's see if he makes an error or not. He is an E3, which means to make an error, you have to have a 3, 16, or 18. And that's a 15, so that's a good play. So it's a pop-out for Gamble, 1 away. And that brings up Eric Soderholm. 4-5 against Palmer. Split chance, since we're doing Super Advanced, it would normally be just a fly out to right, but now with the Super Advanced, you use this triangle and take the split chance. 1-4 is a single. 5-20, he lines it to Mark Belanger. And at it, 6, it fell on a 6, so he snags it. Belanger makes the play. 2 down, base is clear. First baseman Jim Spencer. 110 for Spencer, he lines it to second. Dowers got it. So some hard hit balls, but no fruit as the Sox go in order 1, 2, 3. We go to the third, 1-0 Orioles. And coming up for the for the Orioles, will be Doug DeSensei, third baseman. DeSensei popped out last time to end the, whoops, and I hit my phone again, or I hit my charger again. Not my charger, my stand. But that will be rectified soon, so looking forward to that. Okay, so DeSensei was made the last out, so it's Mark Belanger that leads things off. Shortstop, light-hitting shortstop. 6-10 on Stoney is another catcher X, and again, that's Essien. He's a 2. 2 and a 6. 2 and a 6 on the catcher. is going to turn out to be a P/P, but nobody's on base, so it's looking at a pop-up. And Essien checks in. That's a 10, so no problem there. So it'd be consecutive pop-outs to the catcher for the last two Oriole batters. And speaking of catchers, here's Dave Skaggs. 5-7, struck him out. Steve Stone gets the K. 2 down, and now we're back to the top of the order for Al Bumry. 1-4 for Bumry. He's going to ground to second, and Kessinger is there. 1-2-3 inning for Stoney. He's trying to match Palmer as best he can, but a couple of wild pitches cost him a run. And he's behind 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the third. And Don Kessinger, second baseman, will lead things off for the Sox. 4-5, he's a switch hitter batting left against Palmer. That's a ground ball to Eddie Murray. Easy play, steps on the bag, 1 away. And that brings up Jim Essien, catcher. 5-6, struck him out. Palmer on Essien. 2 up, 2 down, back to the top of the order for Ralph Gary as the only hit for the Sox today. 4-7, and you won't get it this time. It's another strikeout. So Palmer on his game. And we go to the fourth. It is still 1-0 favor of the O's. So Stoney back out. He'll be facing Dower, Singleton, and May to start the fourth. Dower grounded to short his first trip. 4-3 against Stoney. Fly ball right field X again. That is Gamble. He's a 4-4, so this could drop. 4-3 it will drop, and it's probably going to be extra bases. 4-3 is in fact a double. So it's going to be a double. I don't think it'll be an error. We'll check. I don't know. E4 and a 17. That's rough. E4 and a 7. Oh, 15 and 16 were I'm sorry, 15 and 18 were errors, but not 17. So at least they avoided the error, but it is a leadoff double. Ahead of the big boys, Singleton and company. Nothing on the 20. 2-5 for Singleton. He's going to strike out. That was a big strikeout for Stoney. 1 away, but he's still got May and Murray to deal with. And nothing on the 20. Lee May singled and scored after 2 wild pitches. Scored the only run of the game. 3-6. He's got a chance for a hit. 1-10 is a single. 11-20, he grounds to second with the runner advancing. And that's a 16, so he does ground it to Kessinger. For the second out, Dower will move to third. So Dower's at third with 2 down for Eddie Murray. First base is open if they want to try to maybe pitch around Murray and pitch to Kelly. That's a possibility. Boy, you hate to be chicken and walk a guy with a runner at third. But first base is open. You know what? They're going to go ahead and pitch to Murray. They're not going to be chicken. They're going to pitch to Murray. 3, nothing's happening. So here's the pitch to Murray. See if we should have walked him or not. 1-8, and we should have walked him. 1-15 is a home run. 16-20 is a double. And it's a 2-run bomb for Eddie Murray. So my initial thought of an intentional walk probably should have been acted on, but I hate being chicken like that. But maybe, as they say, discretion was the better part of valor. But oh well. It's 3-0 Orioles now. Here's Pat Kelly. 6-7. Well, he would have got a hit anyway, apparently. Look at that. 6-7 is right in the wheelhouse there. 1-10 is a double. And it's exactly what we have. So in this inning, we have 2 doubles and a homer. So they're starting to get to Stone the second time around. Nothing on the 20 for DeSensei, who popped to the catcher his first time. 5-11 against Stoney. And that's a ballpark single check. And you know what? That's the one thing I forgot to do in Super Advanced. I do everything else, and I forgot to check the ballpark effects. I do have the computer up, so let me go back and do that to make sure that I get the ballpark effects right, because that's a critical part of the game. Don't know how I forgot to do that. And now I'm kind of messed up because I'm behind the times. And let's see here. You bring up the ballpark effects for Chicago in this game. I'm using the PC for that because PC is going to tell me what the computer effects are, or what the ballpark effects are, as soon as it gets done. So let's see, the Sensei's roll was a 5-11, so it's going to be a single, potentially an RBI single, if in fact the ballpark allows it. But a ballpark base hit, I believe, is only 1 star, so I'll have to double check that as well. Getting back into the swing of things here on Super Advanced. So let's get the ballpark up here. And singles for the Comiskey Park in this game are 1 to 9. So 1 to 9 will be a single for the Sensei. And it's a 5, so it is a single. But I believe ballpark singles are only 1 star. I will double check it, but I'm pretty sure it's only 1 star. And it is 1 star, so the runner will not score. It'll be a single with the runner going to third. I apologize for the delay. The Sensei does single. Puts runners at the corners. 2 outs. 2 in. Here is Belanger. Nothing on the 20. So here's Belanger. He popped to the catcher also. 2-3. He's going to ground to first, and that's going to end the inning as Spencer steps on the bag. But 2 runs, thanks to the Eddie Murray 2-run homer, because I didn't intentionally walk him like I was going to. Always want to go with your first gut instinct, I guess. It's usually the best way to go on that. I didn't do it, so you saw what happened. It cost me. All right, well, it didn't cost me any money, but it just cost me potentially a home run. All right, so Jim Palmer now with a 3-0 lead. That looks almost insurmountable. Clinton, this is 77. 1977 replay. All right, so Alan Bannister flew to center his first trip. 4-9. 4-9 for Palmer. Ground ball shortstop X, that is Belanger. And Belanger checks in at shortstop as a 1E14, so you know he's going to get to it. Don't need to roll D20. We're just checking for a 14 on an error. And on an E14 for shortstops, the bad rolls are 4, 15, and 17. He's got to avoid those. And he does with a 6, so it's an easy play for Belanger. So Bannister's gone. Here's Chet Lemon. Struck out his first chance. 6-10. 6-10 for Palmer. Fly ball center field X this time, and that is Al Bumry. He checks in as a 4, E4, so not very good range. This may drop. Nope, 4 to 17, he'll get to that. E4 and a 12, I don't think that's any issue whatsoever. It is not. So Bumry makes the play. 2 up, 2 down, and that brings up Richie Zisk. 1-6 for Zisk, struck him out, and that's going to end the inning. So Palmer, solid through 4, and the Orioles lead it 3-0 as we go to the 5th. Thanks to the Eddie Murray 2-run homer last inning. Stone back out. He's got a fatigue of 7, as long as he keeps it under 5 runs. All right, here is Dave Skaggs, struck out his first chance. 2-10 for Skaggs. This time he's going to walk. Start the inning off with a leadoff walk. Skaggs will not be held. It's an E-stealer. Make sure there's nothing funky happening. There's not. Here's Bumry. Whoops, that's a foul ball because the white one didn't go through the hole. Try it again. 5-12 for Stones. Ground ball first base X. That's Spencer. He's a 1, but with run on base, you will need to roll the 20 to see if it's a double play chance or not. It's a 13, so a 13 on a G1, a 1 rating is a G1, so it's potential double play as long as there's no error. He is an E13, which means he has to avoid 11, 13, and 17. And that is a 14, so he's good on that. It's going to be a 3-6-3 double play. Turned nicely by the White Sox. So Bumry, a rare double play chance, but he did it. Here's Rich Dower. 4-5, and that's a ground ball shortstop X. That's going to be Bannister, and he's that woeful 4E48 variety. 4 and a 4, that's a base hit. E4, whoops. E48. E48 and a 10's all right, but it's a base hit. As that sneaks past him, Dower with a 2-out single. Brings up Ken Singleton. And well, that's a 1, another potential wild pitch. He's already had 2 wild pitches today. Oh, this one's not a wild pitch, thank goodness. Dower is not going to be held on as the E-stealer. 5-10 for Stoney. That's another ballpark single chance. 1-9 would be a single for Singleton. But it's not going to happen that way. It is going to be a fly to center. And that's going to end the inning. I know some people play if it's a failed stadium check that you do either a liner to short or a liner to second or whatever. But I only do that when it's a base hit that has a chance. But this was an out that was going to be a base hit. So when it fails, just my own house rule, I'll go back and use the original result. Not that it matters, an out's an out. So it really, you know, in the bigger scheme of things, doesn't really matter. But just in case anybody was curious. All right, so bottom of the 5th, we go. Palmer pitching a 1-hit shutout. Gave up a leadoff single to Gar to start the game. He has retired everyone since. So we are looking at 12 consecutive putouts or batters, you know, taken out. Here's Oscar Gamble. 4-7 is a strikeout. So he keeps it up. 13 in a row by Palmer. Here's Soderholm. 5-7. A 1 is a single. Anything else, he lines to Dower at second. And that's what we have. So it's 14 in a row, going for 15 in a row right here against Soderholm. 4-3, fly ball right field X. That is Singleton. And Singleton checks in as a 3, E5. 3 and a 17, he'll get to that. E5 and a 3, that could be interesting. E5, a 4 was an error, but not a 3. So he did make the play. And 15 in a row turned in by Jim Palmer. Wouldn't be something if he pitched a no-hitter the rest of the way and had that ends up with a 1-hitter where the only hit was the first batter of the game. That would be something. All right, so Steve Stone back out. Stone has a fatigue of 7 and Palmer fatigue of 8. All right, Lee May lead things off. He has singled and scored and grounded to second. 2-10 for May. Home run chance, but not a good one. 1-4. Although the way this D20 is going, you never know. Nope, this time it's going to be a fly to right. And there's one away. Now here's Eddie Murray. The 2-run homer he hit last time up is the big killer. 4-6, switch hitter batting left. This time they get him to pop him to second. And that's 2 away. There's a dot there, but he's not tired yet. And here's Pat Kelly. 5-7 is a walk. 2-out walk to Pat Kelly. He is an A stealer, so he may be looking to get a jump here. 2 through 5, 11, or a 12, he'll get the jump. That's an 8, so no jump. So he will have to hold. And they will hold him on. There's another chance for a wild pitch. Unbelievable. And it is a wild pitch. So again, 3rd wild pitch of the game for Steve Stone, who's probably wishing I was doing advanced instead of super advanced right now. Another one. Could be another wild pitch. No, this time it's not, thank goodness. Here's the Sensei. 5-7 against Stone, and that's a strikeout to end the inning. But boy, those wild pitches were starting to add up. Stoney's going to protest. All right, so we go to the bottom of the 6th, and we're still looking at a 3-0 O's lead. Palmer now retired 15 in a row and just cruising in cruise control. Here's Jim Spencer. 3-8 for Spencer, and that's a pop out to Eddie Murray, first base, 1 away. Easy play there. Here's Kessinger. 4-7 for a switch hitter. Struck him out. Palmer, they can't do anything with Palmer. They just can't wait for the Orioles to get out of here. Play these lesser teams, give them a chance to win. 1-6 is a fly to center. Whoops, did I have the wrong guys up here? Actually, Spencer should not have been up there, should he? He made the last out last time. So now I got to figure out what he did. If he popped to first, was that a 1-9? Trying to remember what I did. because I think I batted them out of order here. That should be a pop to short for Kessinger. And then a 1-6 for Essien would be a fly to center, not a strikeout. Okay. Now we'll get it straight. It's an out either way. I mean, it's really irrelevant at this point. Palmer is now retired 17 in a row. Here comes Ralph Garr to see if he can break the streak. He's got the only hit of the game. 1-9 for Garr. He won't do it. He's out of there. And now that is 18 in a row after the leadoff single of the game. It's 18 in a row by Palmer. And it's 3-0 game, favor the Orioles as we go to the 7th. We go to the 7th. Hey Al, how are you doing? I have a day off today. It's the only reason I'm playing this time of day. So I thought I'd sneak a game in. All right, before all the people start streaming. So here we go. Belanger leads off. He's 0 for 2. 2-7, and that's a strikeout. So Stoney, this again is the beginning of his point of weakness chance at a 7. But so far, so good. Got a strikeout. Here's Skaggs. 1-5 for Skaggs. Struck him out. So Stoney trying to get through this thing with a vengeance here. 1-6 for Bumry, and that's a single. So Bumry gets aboard, and he's definitely a threat to run. He does have a 4 through 6 to get a jump. Let's see if he can do it. He cannot. No jump there, so he'll have to hold. They will hold him on. And this will bring up Rich Dower. Nothing on the 20. Here's Dower. 111 for Dower, and that's a ballpark single chance, 1-9. And that is a 5. It is a base hit, single 1 star. So runners are now at first and second with 2 outs. And it brings up Ken Singleton, dangerous Singleton. 7, nothing's happening. So they got to get Singleton out to keep the score within reason. 1-3 for Singleton. It's a ballpark home run chance. Ballpark home run chance. It's only a 1 to, I believe it's a 1 to, let's check it again. It is a 1, 2, 3. 1 through 3 is the only home run chances at Comiskey today. And that's going to be a fly out to, I believe it's right field, not that it matters. And that's the end of the top of the 7th. No Harry today. Harry is unavailable today, so we have to drive on without Harry. And Harry wouldn't want to see this mess anyway, as the hitmen are just not hitting. And Palmer looking to go 22-8 and lower that ERA even further. He's bucking for Cy Young on the replay. All right, here is Bannister. 3-4. That's a ballpark single chance, 1-9, because they finally get a hit off of 1-9. They do. Finally breaks up the all those bats without hits. It's a ballpark single for Alan Bannister. He will not be held. D. Steeler. Nothing for Lemon. Number 20. 2-8, and nothing for Lemon after all. It's ground ball to shortstop B. That's a fielder's choice, 6-4. Lemon's the new runner. And down 3-0, you're just not going to run. He will be held, but he's not going to try anything. Don't want to run yourself out of an inning. That's a 2. So again, 1 through 3 is a balk. 4, 5, 6 is pass ball, but Palmer has a balk rating of 0. So there is no balk. All right, so we drive on. Really didn't need that D20. I just rolled it and it was no, so really didn't need to do that. 2-4 for Richie Zisk, and that's a fly to center. Clutch sign there, but nobody's on third base, so that clutch does not come to play yet. It's just simply a fly to center. Would have been a hit otherwise, had somebody been in scoring position. Now there's 2 outs for Oscar Gamble. Nothing on the 20. Gamble 0 for 2, popped to the catcher and struck out. 6-8 switch hitter, I'm sorry, left-handed hitter batting left, 6-8 is a walk. So that's going to put runners at first and second. Now a clutch situation does exist because you've got 2 outs with the runner in scoring position. And Soderholm is the tying run, believe it or not. Gets into one, we got to tie a game. Nothing on this. 4-4 against Palmer. That is a ballpark single check again, 1 through 9. And it's a 3. It's a single, but it's only 1 star, so it's only going to load the bases. So the bases are loaded, but the dangerous Jim Spencer is up, and he's certainly capable, with 1 swing of the bat, of giving the Sox the lead. Nothing on the 20. I'm sorry, I got them out of order here. It's supposed to be Spencer, not Kessinger. I don't know how I got them out of order. But on the score sheet, Spencer is the batter. So here we go. 6-6. 1 to 5 is a single. Anything else, he lines to Dower, but a 1 to 5, the Sox are on the board. It's a 2, so they finally break the shutout. Jim Spencer, single 1 star, will finally break the shutout. It's a 3-1 game, so they're actually back in the game, so to speak, 3-1. And Kessinger has been their hot hitter. He is up next. Earl Weaver puffing on a Chesterfield all of a sudden. Here's Kessinger, switch hitter. 1-7 for Kessinger. Ground ball to short. They aren't playing the infield in because there's or halfway because there's already 2 outs and nobody's being held on, so that's going to get through for the base hit. I'm sorry, for the out. It will not be a base hit. So because the runner Soderholm at second was not being held. In fact, nobody was being held. So it's going to be a 6-3 ground out. But the Sox do at least get on the board with 1 run, break up that shutout. Can't score 3 if you don't score at least 1. So we go to the 8th. It is 3-1 favor of the Sox. Stone now, let's see, he gave up 2 hits. So we teeter on the borderline of fatigue. We shall see. Bullpen for the Sox. And the other thing with this being September, you got some call-ups. So they do have guys like Clay Carroll, John Verhoeven, and let's see who else. Those are the 2 main guys out of the bullpen that have been added to their regular bullpen cast of characters to kind of relieve some of the burden. So here's Lee May. 5-8. Oh, that's danger for Stone right there. 1 to 2 is a triple. 3 to 20 is a single. And that's a single for Lee May. So now one more batter reaches, and Stoney will reach his point of weakness. Now Murray's the batter. Murray's already taken him deep once. What do they want to do with Murray this time is the question. Lee May is not being held at first. We know that. So let's see. Do they want to do something with this? Well, they're going to give Steve Stone a chance to redeem himself. 2-5, and he walks him. So now that makes him fatigued. And I think that's going to be it. Bob Lemon's going to make the move. So Bob Lemon's going to make the move for Clay Carroll, right-hander, who they got from the Cardinals. All right, so 7+ innings for Stone. He's going to end up going 32 batters faced. He's given up 3 runs, all earned, but the 2 on base are his responsibility. So Clay Carroll is on in relief, and he's got some work cut out for him. First and second, nobody out. And he's got the lefty Pat Kelly. The reason he didn't bring a lefty reliever in, because if they bring in a lefty reliever to face Kelly, Earl's going to go to Andre Moore, and they really don't want to see Andre Moore if they can avoid it. So they're going to go ahead and let the righty face Kelly. So Carroll against Kelly. And good thing about Carroll is he has no wild pitch rating. So can't throw a wild pitch. That always helps. All right, here's Kelly. Infield at double play depth. Neither runner is being held on. 1-9 for Kelly. And that's a single to left field. And that's going to load the bases because Lee May doesn't run well. And with nobody out, they're not going to take a chance. So the bases are now loaded with nobody out for Doug DeCinces. Nothing happening there. So DeCinces, now the infield's going to be in. They have to cut this run off. They have to go to the plate for the out. There's no question about it. They can't. A double play doesn't do them any good because then you give up a 4th run. They just can't afford that. So DeCinces, infield in. 2-2 for DeCinces, and he is hit by the pitch. How about that? Clay Carroll plunks him. Not what they were looking for out of the pen. And that's going to force in a run. An RBI hit by pitch for Doug DeCinces makes it a 4-1 game. And now things are starting to slip away from the Sox. Once again, they're in danger of being swept at home to the Orioles. But like I said, 25 of the last 30 games are all California, Seattle, and Oakland. So they're looking to maybe feast on the AL West going forward. They're trying to survive the AL East, which is not happening very well. Here's Belanger. Nothing happening there. Infield still in. 1-8. And that's a pop out to short. Infield fly rule. So 1 away. That's a big out there. Now Skaggs, they could play for the double play now because the double play would get them out of an inning. But I don't see a lot of ground ball A's on Skaggs' card. A lot of ground ball B's, but no ground ball A's. Very few plus signs. So we're going to keep the infield in. We're going to keep the infield in. Nothing happening there. Infield in for Skaggs. 1-3 for Skaggs. Ground ball shortstop B plus injury. I have the infield in, but it's a B plus, which means it's a 2-run single. So there you go, playing the infield in cost him, but that's the chance you take. That's the chance you take. No injury, of course, not doing injuries, but it's a 2-run single for Dave Skaggs, and that kind of blows it open right there. And I think it's going to be all for Clay Carroll as well. Carroll goes a third of an inning and doesn't do very well. He only faces 4 batters. He will come out, Clay Carroll will, and they'll go to the lefty Dave Hamilton with the lefty Bumry up at the plate. So Dave Hamilton will be coming on. And Sox trying to get that elusive 70th win. Doesn't look like it's going to happen today. All right, runners on the corner. Skaggs will not be held. Could have finished doing the 77 postseason. I could, I guess. Actually, the way the computer's running it, I mean, the race is in the AL East because you've got Boston, New York, and Baltimore all within, like 2.5 games of each other. So that would be the great pennant race to do if I wasn't doing a Sox replay. So I guess, I think when the season's over, I could think about doing maybe whoever the computer says wins each division. Maybe a Baltimore versus Texas is the way it's working out right now. If it ended today, it'd be Baltimore versus Texas in the ALCS. So let's see how it goes. All right, here's Bumry. Runners at the corners, 1 out. Infield is still in because they can't afford to get any more runs. Skaggs will not be held at first. It is a 9, nothing there. So we'll go to Bumry. 6-9 against Hamilton, lefty on lefty, struck him out. So big strikeout there for Hamilton. That's out number 2. Now the infield can go back to normal for Rich Dower. No, that's a 2, so no chance for a balk, but a chance for a pass ball perhaps. And the pass ball rating on Essien is a 2. And nothing happened on the pass ball. So here we go for Dower. 2-5 against the lefty. A 1 is a single. Anything else, he lines it to Kessinger. And he lines it to Kessinger to end the inning. But damage done here in the 8th. 3 runs. Makes it a 6-1 game. And you turn that over to Jim Palmer, and it's Katie bar the door. So not so good for the Sox right now. They're looking to go 69 and 63, while the Orioles will go to 78 and 55. So here we go with Jim Essien to lead things off against Palmer. 1-9 for Essien, struck him out. Palmer bucking for yet another complete game. I don't see any reason to take him out right now. Certainly not tired yet. 6-7 against the lefty, and it's a walk. So that's his first knock against the point of weakness, because his fatigue is inning number 8. Gar will not even be held. Certainly not going to go anywhere. Actually, he'll take second on, I'm going to call it defensive indifference. He will take second base because they're not holding him on. They don't really care. 2 is a chance for either balk or a pass ball. It's a 3, but Palmer has no balk rating, so there will be no balk. It's Bannister, 4-8 against Palmer. Ground ball to short, that'll hold the runner at second base, but it would have been a double play had he not taken defensive indifference. It would have been a double play, so I guess that helps in some aspects. Only down 6-1, I don't think anything helps. Chet Lemon, 4-6 against Palmer. Ground ball to third, and DeCince's got it to end the inning. So we go to the 9th. We go to the 9th. Still 6-1 Orioles, and the only question now is, will Palmer get a complete game? That's about the only suspense that's left, unfortunately. Singleton is going to lead things off. We're going to get a new pitcher for the Sox because they don't want to burn up Hamilton too much. He's a reasonably effective lefty. So he goes 2/3 of an inning, got both guys out. But now we're bringing in a schlub because of the score. And the schlub is going to be John Verhoeven, who actually used a computer-generated card for him. John Verhoeven. And now I understand that if you get a the pound sign, that means ballpark effects. So at least I got that straight. So if I get a result there, hopefully that won't be misread like it was the previous game. All right, so Verhoeven is going to be on to face Singleton. 2-7 for Singleton, struck him out. So good job there by Verhoeven, although that he had nothing to do with it. It was Singleton that struck out on his own. Here's Lee May. 2-11 for Lee May, and that's a ballpark single. 1-9 would be that single. And he gets it. 1-8. So ballpark single. There you go. He will not be held as an E-stealer, so I'm not going to worry about that. Eddie Murray, his big 2-run homer back in the 4th really set the tone. 112 when he didn't get walked. And there's a ballpark home run chance, but it's only 1-3. So he's not going to get it. That's going to be a fly to left. 2 down, and that brings up Pat Kelly once again. Pat Kelly, 3-4 for Pat Kelly. It's a ballpark single chance. That's 1-9 again. And that's a 1. Boy, I'm getting them low D20s on these single checks, and we're getting some singles out of it. So now runners at first, and oh, I put that in the wrong spot. I'm keeping the score down here. That tells you how I'm paying attention. Let's fix this real quick. Where's my whiteout when I need it? Right over here. When you're not paying attention sometimes, this can happen. And my whiteout is not very good. It's pretty old. Probably need some correctional tape or something, but try not to make any errors, but doing a video sometimes it just happens. Don't pay attention to what you're doing. All right, so 2 on, 2 out, and we have DeSensei the batter. Nothing on the 20. Here's DeSensei. Nobody's being held. 3-10. That's a ballpark home run chance again for DeSensei, but it's only 1-3. But the way this D20 is going, you never know. It's 11, so it will be a fly to left field to end the inning. So Verhoeven pitches 1 inning of shutout ball and kind of saves the rest of the bullpen for later. And now we go to the bottom of the 9th. Last chance for the Sox. You know, you're not going to score 5 runs, but can they at least knock Palmer out of the game and prevent a complete game? The Orioles do have 1 guy in their bullpen who is doing some loosening down there, and that is Tippy Martinez, the lefty. So Tippy Martinez is light tossing down there in case Palmer gets into trouble. Palmer only gave up 1 base runner, so he's still good to go on his point of fatigue. Here's Richie Zisk. 1-4 for Zisk, and that's a ballpark single chance again, 1-9. And he gets it. So boy, I'm going to write over here to avoid the whiteout. Write it over here. All right, so that's a single for Richie Zisk. He will not be held, of course. Nothing doing there for Oscar Gamble. 5-4 against a lefty is a catcher X. That's Skaggs. Skaggs checks in as a 3, E3. 3-17 on a catcher chart. 3-17 is a G3 ground out with the runner advancing. Make sure there's no error. There is no error there, so it's going to be a 2-3 ground out with Zisk going to second base. Not that matters. We're down by 5. But here's Eric Soderholm. That's a chance for a balk or a pass ball. He has no balk rating. Rating of Skaggs, which is a 2. So there is a chance for a pass ball. But there's not going to be on this case. So no pass ball. We drive on. Soderholm 3-9. Ground ball to third. It's going to freeze the runner. So 2 down. And last chance, it is Jim Spencer. Nothing on the 20. Jim Spencer. 1-5 for Spencer. He's going to break through with the RBI here. 1-5 is a double. 6-20 is a single. And it's 2 stars, so the run's going to score from second either way. It's a 2, so it's going to be a double for Jim Spencer. RBI double. Cuts the lead to 6-2. And now 1 more base runner, and Palmer will get fatigued, and that would probably be the time they would take him out. They really want him to get that complete game if they can. Here's Kessinger. They're going to pinch hit for Kessinger with, they're going to use George Orta. So George Orta is going to pinch hit for Kessinger. See what he can do. George Orta, pinch hitter. So let's see what Orta can do. Spencer is at second base. Nothing there. In fact, just for kicks and giggles, we'll run for Spencer because he's so slow. And they will use Henry Cruz. It's another one of these guys that I printed off, but Henry Cruz has a 14 run rating. So Henry Cruz is going to run for Spencer. That gives him a 14 run rating. And with the score being what it is, they're not even going to hold him on. So a base hit would almost certainly score him. There's a 1. Chance for a wild pitch on Palmer is a 1-4. And another 1, so it's a wild pitch, moves him to third base. So how about that? Wild pitches galore on this D20. Seems to come up 1 an awful lot. All right, here's Orta, runner at third and 2 outs. 3-4. 3-4 for Orta. Ground ball to second. Dowers got it. Ball game's over. So the Sox put up a run in the 9th, but that's all they can muster. And it's a 6-2 victory for the Orioles. Complete game for Jim Palmer. He improves to 22-8. Steve Stone drops to 9-13 on the season on the replay. Sox dropped to 69-6. And the Orioles improved to 78-55. And let's see here. I'm trying to get Tabby's trying to get up on the table. I'm trying to keep Tabby off the table, so that could be a challenge. Let's check the hits for each team. Won't take long to total up the Sox hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. So 2-6-0 for the Sox. And they left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on. And for the Orioles, they ended up getting, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hits. 6-12-0 for the Orioles. They left on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They left 10 on. Okay, so final totals for the Orioles. 6 runs, 12 hits, no errors, and 10 left. Sox, 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors, and 6 left. Palmer the winner, Stone the loser. And the big blow was the 2-run homer by Eddie Murray in the 4th that made it 3-0 when I was going to intentionally walk in with the runner at third and 2 outs and did not. And it turns out to be the bonehead play of the day by the manager. But that's just how it works. Sometimes you never know how things are going to work out until you try it. Don't know if, I don't think I can, no, I can't do that. Okay, never mind. All right, so like I said, going forward, this is the end of their time facing these good teams. So going forward, they have 30 games remaining. They are 69-63, but out of the 30 games, 25 of those are against California, Oakland, and Seattle, the 3 lowest teams in the division. The other 5 games are against Minnesota, who is right there with them in the division. So they don't play Texas, Kansas City, Baltimore, New York, or Boston anymore. So, they're hoping they can at least, do something in these final 30 games. I do like playing the Super Advanced. I'm not sure why I ever left the Super Advanced. If I thought I was saving time or whatever, but the more I play Super Advanced, the more that's my go-to. So it will be Super Advanced the rest of the way. Like I said, we're now in September, so we're getting some September call-ups. So I probably will have to be printing off some more of these computer cards for the extra players, just so that the teams have all these extra guys, because September, they call up all these minor leaguers and whatnot. So strengthen the depth of the bullpen and the benches. Need to be doing that. Game 132 in the books, which means there are 30 more to go in the replay. And I think I will try to use Mike's suggestion of playing the ALCS and maybe even the World Series based on the way the computer sims it for everything else. Like I said, right now, if the season ended today, the ALCS would be Baltimore against Texas. So Kansas City is still trying to catch up, as are the Yankees in Boston. But, of course, you got a month to go, roughly, as today was the game played September the 4th. So 30 games remaining. A couple of doubleheaders are snuck in there against Oakland and California, which is why we're going to play 30 days in less than 30 calendar days, because you got some double plays in there. So the next series, they'll be playing the Oakland A's. I think the first game they play is a doubleheader. So obviously, I think it would be too much to try to broadcast a doubleheader. So I'll figure something out. I'll play one of the games offline and then get all the cards printed out and be ready for the next game in the series against those Oakland Athletics, who were not very good in 1977. In fact, they finished in last place in real life, but in the replay, they're actually ahead of California and Seattle, but things can change. But yep, another complete game for Jim Palmer. I believe that's going to be like 23 for him now. He's over 290 innings already, so what are you going to do? I mean, the guy's just lights out. I almost took him out here because he had almost reached his point of fatigue, but decided against it. Thank everybody for coming in and watching and putting up with my little snafu there of not having the ballpark effects handy and available, and my little whiteout snafu down here. So that's going to do it from here. Hope you enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, and if any of the fellow people in the community are streaming later today, be sure to check them out. Give them a like and a sub, and try to encourage everyone that's in the hobby to keep things going, because there's no sports right now, at least not for now. Baseball might eventually start up later on. I don't know. I'm still kind of leery about that. I'm thinking they might start and then somehow get stopped again. So I don't know, but right now, this is the only thing going baseball-wise is what we see on YouTube, or watching greatest games of the past. But anything that's current, that's going on, is going to be happening on YouTube, Twitch, or wherever on these card and dice or computer games. So encourage everybody out there to support the community, those that are out there. If you play these games and have not done a video or put yourself out there with videos, I encourage you to do so. It's a lot of fun, I think, and community is really good. And everybody starts out slow and makes mistakes. Heck, I've been doing this for a couple of years, and I still make mistakes every game. So it's just the way it is, but we live with it. And the point is, it's a hobby. You're having fun, not taking everything too seriously. So that's going to do it from here. Hope you enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it. And as usual, I will see you all down the road.